face that monitor this way a little bit more. The monitor. Pull it this way a little more. The monitor. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to another taping of the Mr. Phil Show. I think we've got a fun show tonight. It's a little bit different. You're going to be seeing videos instead of live performance, but the band that we have tonight is all excited. They just came back from California, or at least Gregg did, and we're going to have him tell us all about that and what their next projects are, and how we can get about doing some of that stuff. But just wanted to let you know, around here in this area, in the Port Jervis area, tonight it's chilly. I hope it's not too chilly where you are. But right now, let me introduce to you my best friend and yours, the one and only Mr. Phil. Hello, honey.
Hey, sweetie.
How you doing today?
Okay.
That's good. So, we've
So,
had some Jewish holidays going on.
yes, we did.
Okay, so why don't you fill everybody in?
Okay. Well, this is the last of it. We had, starting 3 weeks ago, the New Year's, which was Rosh Hashanah.
Right.
Then the following week, we had the Day of Atonement, Yom Kippur, which is the holiest day of the year, which made it even holier this year because it fell on Saturday, or Friday night into Saturday, which is the Sabbath, Shabbat or Shabbos, both together. So that was the holiest of the holiest. Plus, it was my birthday.
I was going to say, and in the middle of all of that, it was also Mr. Phil's birthday. So everybody just, happy birthday, Mr. Phil. We won't tell you how old the old geezer is, but, just take a guess. It's not a big deal.
No, it's not a big deal.
Not a big deal. He doesn't mind if you guess younger.
Oh, yeah, she still considers me like a kid.
Well, he is over 29, though.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, just to get that out there,
Yeah.
But
But then we went into the holiday of Sukkot, which was, it started last week on Wednesday night, Thursday, and Friday, and went through this week, where it really wasn't the holiest part of the holiday, but still you ate out in those little huts,
Nice.
which we did at the sukkah. We
Right,
did at
and
the temple.
that is representing going into the desert
Yes,
after fleeing Egypt.
yes.
Yes. Okay, and I
And
understand that. That's
then,
it's an essential part of the history.
right. Then the end of the holiday, we had what they call the 8th day of assembly because they didn't want to go home, so they stayed another day, but it wasn't part of Sukkot. It's another holiday, which is called Simchat Torah, which means it's the time of year where we finish reading the Torah and start all over again. So that's exactly what we did today.
Right. Well, that's great. See, and nobody wanted to go home.
Right.
They all wanted to stay and hang out and family party, and that sounds like fun.
Right.
Yeah,
yeah, it was great.
All right, that sounds good.
Yes.
So the next order of business, though, that we have to bring up, it's very serious. On today is actually Friday the 13th. Boo! And it's in October. But this is a good luck show for us because I just want to let everybody in our viewing area know that we are going to be holding a telethon on the 21st.
Yes.
From 2 to 7. It's going to be seen only in our local area. But the reason I'm putting it out there to most of you is because we're seen in so many different areas that we don't want you to feel left out, and we don't want to feel left out because we'd like your donations as much as the donations from people that are around the area. We're going to be flashing on the screen. We've got our P.O. box and where you're doing your donations to. And this way you can send in whatever. You have $5? Send in $5. If you got good wishes, put that in there too, you know. If there's something you'd like to see us try on the show, stick that in there with your donation too. Also, if you have things that you can donate that we can sell and maybe or trade for equipment, because the station's always in need of updated things. I think that's the one thing that Phil and I know we need desperately is,
we need desperate.
You know, especially to update our soundboards and our video boards and stuff. That's would really come in helpful.
Right.
And if anybody in the area has any talent in any of these spaces, audio, visual, or you have a show that you're considering, you always have the opportunity to come down and join the station.
Yes, in fact, there's a meeting this Tuesday night at 7 p.m.
Right. That Tuesday night would be the 18th.
Yeah.
At 7 p.m.
Or
It's in
the
Port
17th.
Jervis. 17th?
Yeah.
It's a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And we will be here discussing business. And, you know, we always like to welcome new members and even just people who want to be around to help us out with things. That's always a big hand. And, you know, the ones that are running the shows, sometimes they need a little break. And sometimes someone gets sick, like on our show, there's 3 of us. And if one of us gets sick, like 2 weeks ago, I lost my voice. I found somebody to co-host for me. So
Right.
I stood behind the scenes directing, which was fun. That's what I do. But you know what? I like doing dual roles. I like to be able to direct and be the host. So, you know, I don't want to give it all to Phil. I mean, geez, it's only been his show for 23 years now?
22 years.
22 years. So, you know, it's my turn.
Right.
And Phil is going to be going into the studio, and he's going to be recording some songs soon.
Right.
Okay, and that's without my duets. I will also have duets on there as well. But we're going to get Phil's stuff knocked out first.
Right. Because we really want, according to my manager, Carl Richards, he really wants to start pushing my songs now because he wrote them, and he did get me radio play and major TV play and did a lot with it, you know, years ago. But, you know, the opportunities just haven't been there. So we want to just make it a little better now and update different things and
Sure.
and get it out there, especially the fact with other things that we're involved in and new people that we're involved with also.
Yes. We've been a pretty busy couple of people lately,
Right.
hitting film festivals and, you know, recruiting people for our show, but then they want to recruit us for their shows as well. So we're doing a reciprocal thing. And we're having a lot of fun at it.
Yes,
And
we
I
are.
think people are starting to recognize us on the street. So if you do, come up and say hi. Are you Mary? Are you Phil? We'll let you know if we are. You know, unless we're in a really bad mood, and we might bark at you. That's what he likes to do. I really wouldn't do that.
Bark?
Bark.
Yeah.
Yes. He barks at his wife every day.
Right.
Yes. But
And
anyway.
if you're in the Poughkeepsie area, there's been a time change, okay? You are no longer with the rest of the time Warner group at 10 o'clock on Wednesday night. The Poughkeepsie group, you have been moved to Saturday night at 10 o'clock.
When does that become active?
Tomorrow.
Okay, so they'll be seeing this or not seeing this then right away because they'll be expecting it.
But on their program guide, it's listed in
It
Poughkeepsie.
is listed.
Because they put
Okay.
what they did, they put the educational shows during the week.
Yeah, I would hate for people to tune in at the old time and find out, oh, where did it go?
Right.
Yeah.
But they show, when they do the, in between the show, when they scroll like we do their bulletin board,
Okay.
it'll show the new
the
time.
time
So,
change.
but we now
Excellent.
have the highest priority spot, 10 o'clock on a Saturday night on prime
Oh,
time.
that is just wonderful, and I hope we get a whole lot of new viewers.
Yes, in Poughkeepsie. Whoa.
Yes.
That
I've
is,
got relatives in Poughkeepsie. I've got, cousins
Yeah.
and stuff that live in the area. So I hope you all tune in. And I'm
Yes.
going to be hitting you up on Facebook and saying, hey, watch my show. You'll probably get a kick out of it. And maybe it'll even pick up in popularity even more. We'll have more and more viewers.
right, because there's plenty of open mics in Poughkeepsie.
There's open mics. We recruit from open mics. We recruit from music festivals. If you've got something that you think is worth seeing, and you want to videotape it and send it to us on Facebook or something like that, as long as it's original music, because we do only original music. Go ahead and send it to us. Let us know, and let us know if you'll be willing to travel to Port Jervis, New York, from wherever it is that you are. And you know what? You get in touch with me, and I will set you up with a date.
Yes. So in Poughkeepsie, I'd like to find out more about the open mics in Poughkeepsie because that's our territory. And now that we're in, the biggest prime time in Poughkeepsie, I'd love to hit those open mics over there because I know
Absolutely.
we would recruit from over there.
Yes, yes.
The idea is hitting the open mics in the counties and areas that we broadcast from.
Yes.
Then we're assured that we'll get people that want to do it because it really doesn't help that much going to an open mic or an event someplace, down in South Jersey or something like that.
No, it'd be too far for people to come.
Right.
Some people may not think so because this is a nice big stepping stone for people.
Right.
Because, when you're done on the show, we usually give you a copy of it and you can take it and make it part of your portfolio. You can put it on your Facebook page or whatever you want with it. And also, as soon as our DVDs are taken into the stations that run our shows.
Right.
My husband Ken, who is the producer, also sticks them all on YouTube. So if you ever miss a show or you just want to catch up on what's going on, see what's going on, you can turn to YouTube channel and look for the Mr. Phil Show. Scroll down, there's dates, there's different performers, and I think you're going to like what you see. We have a lot of fun people on.
Right. And if you have any friends in Westchester, please let them know that Mary Frost comes home pretty soon to Westchester.
Yes. My husband and I are going to be performing in Peekskill on Saturday the 21st. Anybody from around this area that wants to come down, we figured we'll take a caravan down. We'll have everybody meet at my house, and we'll all go down together. Wouldn't that just be one heck of a
Right.
thing? It's a small coffee house, and we're only doing for 2 hours, but it's going to be really fun. Really
Right.
fun because that's where I grew up. That's where he grew up, and we're hoping to see a lot of
Right.
hometown faces.
Plus, we could give the previews of our next spot.
That's true.
It's going to be called Mary Frost Comes Home.
Yeah, that's what we're going to try to do.
Yes.
So we're going to try to get some videotape and see what happens. We do mostly covers, so my stuff may not be able to be on here. I don't even know.
Right.
Depending on the powers that be that tell us what we can and put on, not put on. But at the very least, we can put the show on YouTube.
Right. And eventually we're hoping that the Mr. Phil show will come home to Poughkeepsie.
Yeah, that would be great, wouldn't it?
The Peekskill, yeah. We got to hear a Peekskill. That'll be wonderful because people want it in Westchester.
They do, yes. My mother lives in Westchester. My mother-in-law and my brother-in-laws and my nieces and my nephew. And, I mean, I've got lots of family still down there. And people that are even family friends that have been family friends for probably longer than I've been alive. They're also, considered family. And I think they'd be interested in seeing this.
Right.
I mean, local girl makes big, hey?
Right, you're known at I'll never forget the Hoboken Film Festival. The biggest star there. Everybody's afraid to walk up to him. Mary walks right up to him and tells who oh yeah, I know the Frost. I know the families. He knew you.
Yes, that was Danny Aiello, and he happened to grow up around in the same area of Scarsdale, Eastchester, Bronxville, that a lot of my family, my grandparents, one was one of 15, one was one of 14. So you can imagine the whole area down there was run by them. So he actually did recognize the name, and that was pretty cool. We wanted to talk more, but his handler said, Mr. Aiello, you have to take your seat. So, we were obedient, took our seats.
Right.
But, all right, so I think we should really just get the show kicked off.
All right, I'm going to kick off.
You're going to do a song tonight, and it's a newer version that you're going to record.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to do We'll Stand Tall. This is the new revised version of it.
Great.
Where I threw singing vocals to it rather than talking vocals to the lyrics.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Okay. So now, do you want to use this mic? You're going to drag yours from there. You're going to stand over here in front of this camera. All right, pull one of them. You stand in front of the big camera.
Okay.
All right, and this is Mr. Phil with We'll Stand Tall, written by Carl Richards, his manager.
Need a camera person to get me a little higher. Okay.
Yeah, we've got the top of Phil's head. Well, you really only need to hear what's coming out of his mouth anyway, right?
Okay, great.
There you go. There's the whole mug.
Okay.
You want a flag?
Yeah, I'll take the flag.
Yeah, why not? It's a patriot song.
We'll stand tall.
We'll stand tall.
We will stand together.
We will stand together.
We'll stand tall.
We'll stand tall.
For our country if it calls.
For our country if it calls.
And we'll stand tall.
And we'll stand tall.
Everyone wave Old Glory.
Wave Old Glory.
Freedom for the world.
Freedom for the world.
Peace for everyone.
Peace for everyone.
We'll stand tall.
We'll stand tall.
'Cause we are all brothers.
We all are brothers.
We'll stand tall.
We'll stand tall.
One for all and all for one.
One for all and all for one.
We'll stand tall.
We'll stand tall.
'Cause we are all brothers.
We all are brothers.
We'll stand tall.
We'll stand tall.
One for all and all for one.
One for all and all for one.
Yes, we'll stand tall.
We'll stand tall.
Now let's wave Old Glory.
Wave Old Glory.
Hand in hand.
Hand in hand.
Freedom everyone.
Freedom everyone. stand tall.
Now let's wave all glory.
Wave all glory.
We'll stand tall.
We'll stand tall.
Hand in hand now, everyone.
Hand in hand now, everyone.
We'll stand tall.
We'll stand tall.
Neighbors ever need us.
If they need us,
We'll stand tall.
we'll stand tall.
Forever freedom reigns.
Forever freedom reigns. We'll stand tall.
We will stand together.
We will stand together.
We'll stand tall.
We'll stand tall.
For our country if it calls.
For our country if it calls.
We'll stand tall.
We'll stand tall.
For our country if it calls.
For our country if it calls.
We'll stand tall.
We'll stand tall.
For our country if it calls.
For our country if it calls. Thank you.
Nice job, Phil. All right, nice job. So, our next guest for tonight, we've had him on before. I
Okay.
believe we've had Gregg on twice before.
Yes.
Mr. Gregg Woods, and he's got his own band. Gregg, if you want to come on up with your band, and you can actually introduce them, and just grab a seat and grab a mic. And this is Gregg. And Gregg, you're gonna
Okay.
introduce.
Got my drummer, Mr. Tom Brown, and my
Hello,
guitar
Tom.
player, Louie Spagnola.
And Louie.
Hello.
It's
Hello.
nice to see all of you. So now I understand you're the one that went to California. These guys didn't go with you?
No, I went out there myself
Oh.
recently.
Oh, see, he's trying to do stuff without you guys already.
Hard to round
know.
everybody up for a trip like that.
It is, yes. How long did you stay?
I was there almost 2 weeks, actually.
Wow.
That's nice.
Yeah. Wow.
I would love to do that. I'm going to stow away in his bag next time. You know, I'm
yeah,
small enough.
you probably
know.
could. Yeah, absolutely.
Mary, at the rate we are going, who says we won't?
Well, that's true. We might get somebody to actually pay for tickets for us to go out. You never know.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, this is part of my band. Rob Tuttle, my bass player, couldn't make it, and Meg
Okay.
Ryan, my backup singer, she lives down in Jersey, so she couldn't be here either. But
Well,
but
hi
these
guys. I'm sorry we missed you. It's too bad you couldn't come with us, but you know what? I'm going to make sure these guys mention your names as much as possible. Okay, so now how long have you guys been performing together?
This lineup here, Louie, what's been I don't know, about
2 years,
about
maybe.
2 years now.
Yeah?
This particular lineup, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Anybody from your band been with you longer than that, or?
Yeah, Rob Tuttle actually has been with me since the start. You know,
Okay.
since right after I did the CD, he was kind of the first one I recruited, and then it kind of
Well, that's
you know
great.
fell into place after that. You know, here and there.
Oh, that's nice. Well, you know, it's nice when you can have at least one band member be with you that knows everything, that can help you break in other people.
Absolutely, sure.
To your music. I mean, I know that from my husband and I trying to get our bands together.
Yeah.
And you've been putting bands together probably longer than we have. We've done it sporadically in between children.
Right.
Which Gregg has what, 1,000? No. Maybe in his mind. No, that's not Gregg's thing. So let me see. What about, you're playing the guitar?
Yes, I play guitar.
Yes. Okay, how long have you been playing?
Yep. Oh God. Maybe it's got to be 25 years.
Wow.
Or more.
25
think.
years. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Were you, did you play in high school and stuff too? Were you
Yes,
one
I
of
did,
us
yeah.
high school kids
We
that,
were talking about that on the way down here. The
yeah?
high school talent shows and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Oh, that sounds like fun. Okay. Did you have many bands that you were with?
Yeah, high school was, just a few, just us guys. It wasn't, wasn't really anything serious until maybe the last 10 years.
Okay.
You know,
What kind of serious stuff have you done in the last 10 years?
I play guitar in the Richie Scarlett band.
Okay.
I have this acoustic band out of upstate New York near Hudson. We're called Eli's Gin, and I do a Alice Cooper tribute band called School's Out.
Oh, wow.
So which we're playing. We have a show October 20th at the Falcon Underground up here in Marlboro.
That's Saturday.
Yep, or next Friday.
What kind of a place
Friday.
is the Falcon?
Right.
Tell you the truth, I've never been there, but from what I hear, it's rock, classic rock, like jazz-oriented kind of stuff.
Okay.
Have you ever been there, Greg?
No, I haven't been there. I've heard about it though. It sounds like a good place.
Right, because I know a lot of people that have played there, and students of our sister show on here, Pam Time. She's had a lot of her students, Pam Murphy,
Right.
play at the Falcon.
Right. She's got, quite a group of talent to pick from.
That's
from
good,
her
yeah.
Talent school, I guess it is, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Music
she's
and
the
dance
Hudson Valley Conservatory.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
So-
that's always good, So then what about this Bob, right?
Oh, Tom Brown.
Tom. Bob is the one that couldn't make it. By the end of the show, I'll have everybody's names, and it's not
okay.
going to matter anymore, right? I do know Gregg, though. I mean, he's been great. He's been here a couple times for us, and he even works with my husband, so that, can't get away from me. I know exactly where to find him.
You do, definitely.
So what about you, Tom?
I've been playing drums I've been playing drums about 40 years altogether.
Wow.
About 40
Started
years.
at 10
Yeah.
years old, so
Oh.
it's
Oh,
been
wow.
a long time.
Wow.
All right. Did you just decide to pick up the sticks one day and bang on stuff, or did your
Well-
parents did they decide maybe this boy needs a drum set?
There was actually a neighbor kid that started playing snare drum at a young age, and he was kind of my idol back then. I looked up to him and said, "This is really cool. I've got to try this."
Oh yeah, and at 10 years old, that's like the
Oh,
coolest
yeah.
thing you could do.
That was the coolest thing back then.
Yeah, make as much noise as you can, annoy everybody, and make mom get mad and stop that racket. Oh, I know how that can be. That was always my biggest fear, that someone would bring me my sons a drum set.
That takes a lot
mean-
of patience as a parent to go through that.
Yeah,
really
and a
does.
lot of cotton for the ears.
You wouldn't play drums, would you?
Oh, I don't know. I've never tried. I've got my tambourine, and I've got my, my little rhythm instruments, and sometimes they can be a pain in the neck too. So.
I
A little percussion now and then.
Yeah, and when you're trying to sing on a different beat than what the percussion is doing, it kind of gets tricky. I mean, my husband's just learning how to sing along and maybe harmonize with me while playing guitar, because that alone, and just in mastering that, and I'm sure Gregg can talk about that, just mastering singing while you're playing, that's a big deal.
You're damn right. I'll tell you something else. We talked about that this afternoon. Remember when you and me did the Country Showdown in
Yeah.
Newburgh with WRWD Radio?
Yes.
And that girl who said, "I don't understand it. I play guitar, I sing," and somebody else who won it just was singing with karaoke tracks.
Yeah.
And it was explained to her that maybe you should have done the same thing, because if it's a vocal singing contest, you want
Right.
to concentrate on one thing and one thing only.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's a little hard, and it'll throw you off. I mean, does it throw you off? Did it throw you off much when you first started playing?
No, I mean, I try to, learn the songs as best I can and perfect my craft before I take it out in front of people, and
What about singing?
Try
Do you practice the music first, or do you always practice your music along with the singing as you're doing everything?
when I write or
When
learning.
you're writing and learning.
Most of the times when I write, the music comes first, and then I'll kind of hear a melody in my head of what the lyrics might sound like, and then,
Okay.
in some rare cases, I'll have an idea what I want to write about, and then I'll have things written down and then put music to it. But it just, I think the best songs are the ones that just come to you. You don't sit down and just say, okay, I'm going to write a song. You just kind of, the best songs, I think, find you, is how it works.
Yeah. I mean, I've had to get up in the middle of the night and write things down.
Oh, yeah.
And, right now it's poetry. Or midnight thoughts, whatever it happens to be. But, you never know. They could be turned into songs one day if they're not too personal feelings, And sometimes you just have stuff going around and around in your head. Have you ever found yourself, like, going, oh, man, I got to get up and write this down right now?
Yeah, I mean, I get ideas for things, and you jot them down. I mean, I think the first track you're going to see is my song Hollywood Boulevard. Okay. I love California, as we talked about,
right.
So that song is a, kind of a postcard, if you will, of, how I feel about that place. I went out there and shot the video, and all I mentioned the landmarks and the lyrics and things like that. So it all kinds of, you're going to see a live footage of it here, but,
right.
There is a music video that I went out there and shot. So
how long did the music video take to shoot?
I went out there for about 4 days, and there's a good friend of mine out there named Marisa who does music videos for bands.
Okay.
And we went out to different spots and shot the video, and she had the track playing on a little iPod in my vest, so I would hear
so
it.
You would hear
I would hear
it.
the track and mimic the song singing on the street, and then
Right.
she syncs it up to the audio track later on. So we got all those shots in those different places, and it all just came together. So I learned a lot about how a music video is done, which is very cool.
It's not put together with just somebody sitting there videotaping you
No,
like you're on stage.
we went to different
There's a lot
places,
of stuff that goes
because
into
I kind of visualized how I wanted the video. I didn't know how to make a video, but I knew what I wanted, so
Right.
I just needed to explain it to somebody like her what I needed, and then we went and captured all of it. So
She was able to get all that.
Right.
Have these guys been in any of your
not
videos?
yet.
Not
No,
yet?
I hope to eventually get some of the new stuff I'm writing underway so that I can get tracks recorded, and then down the road hopefully get some videos happening.
Right.
That would be
Well,
great.
That's good. I mean, what do you do for a band to back you up when you're doing things, or do you just do it by yourself? Do you have a band to back you up when you're recording in California, or?
Oh, I haven't done any recording in California.
You haven't done any recording yet?
My California visits have pretty much been my solo acoustic sets. I
Okay.
mean, I pretty much have two sides of what I do. I do the full band stuff,
Right.
where we play at places like the Chance, where I need a full band. But I could also, just pack up an acoustic guitar and go play at a coffee house and do
Yeah.
songs myself. So I it's kind of the best of both worlds.
Well, yeah, it's fun to be able to do both. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
Like I said, Ken and I, we're doing the same thing. We've got a band, and we've got our
Yeah.
own acoustic show.
I grew up idolizing guys like John Mellencamp and
yeah.
Springsteen and Tom Petty and all these people, and these are guys that have their bands, and they're great, but then they could also pick up a guitar and just do
and
it.
just
So.
go out there
Right,
and just
yeah.
sing for their money.
Exactly. So
That's terrific. Now, do you have any plans on dragging these guys along with you? To,
I would love to do that.
California?
Yeah, that would be amazing
Coordinate
if we could.
everybody getting off work.
Yeah,
and
that's easier said than done, but I would
My
love
bag's
to.
packed.
Yeah, I would love to make that happen.
that would
Get
be
everybody
great.
out there.
Have you all in one video, and
That'd be fantastic. I mean, we could shoot a video here. I mean, we can.
we're going to show the video here.
Yeah.
That yes, actually, my husband and I went to the Chance where Gregg was doing his show, so we got the honor to be there. And of course, being personal friends with the artist is always fun. And of course, he knew we were there because we were going to do our show based around your California trip
Wow.
and what
Yes.
you did at the Chance, and these guys were playing. They were there as well, so you'll see them on the video.
Right.
Why don't we have Ken play the video, and
Yeah.
we can talk all about what was going on.
Sounds good.
Ken, do you mind?
Fantastic singer. Who's Greg Wood's band?
standing there front and center.
You were. I saw you
And,
there, yeah.
My husband and I actually filmed that one.
Yeah. Good job.
We're watching you guys, go back and forth, and
Yeah,
it
it's fun.
was cool. And I know you remember. I came up on stage. Remember?
Oh, definitely.
Afterwards, and I'm like, wait, sit behind the drums. I need to get the picture of the drummer because the drummer never gets seen.
True. Yeah.
Eventually, I will get you those pictures, guys. I still have them.
Oh,
I
thank
took
you.
Pictures of each one of the band.
We got to do something like
Alone.
Motley Crue does with him and elevate him up and flip him around
Something,
and stuff
man.
like that.
Well,
There you go.
You've got to feel like I do, like the midget, because these two are extremely tall. But then to me, everybody's extremely tall, even a baby.
Yeah.
So what am I gonna do? But how much practice did you have to put into getting ready for the show?
Well, that track has been around a while. That's on my album "Bite the Bullet," which is a few years old now. So we've been doing that one
pretty
pretty
solid.
regularly. Yeah, that's a great one. I have very fond memories of recording that with Richie Scarlett producing. He liked that
Wow.
one a lot, so he really took a liking to my songs and wanted to produce. And that was such fond memories of that. I had not even really thought of doing an album, and I was hanging out with Richie and showing him what I was writing, and he kind of pushed me to do it. So you need somebody to kind of give you that push once in a while to
You do, and
to
if
do
you've got
to
somebody
do
like him
something.
that can
Yeah,
help you with that.
exactly. So that's a great memory of that one.
That's terrific. That's really terrific. Now, I know with Richie Scarlett, we had JJ Savage on our show.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
And actually, you came.
Yeah, I
that
came
night
here
when
for
he was
moral
there.
support. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah,
Yep.
That was a lot of fun. I'm hoping to see him go
he's
pretty
a great,
far.
great player. He's
I'm
outstanding.
telling you, it's unbelievable what this
fantastic.
kid does
Oh,
at his
man.
age.
Yeah.
So that's great. Have you ever played with JJ?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He knows him
he's-
very well.
Yeah, he's a
I've
good kid.
probably known him since he was.
Oh,
you know,
really?
yeah,
Okay,
he's-
so you knew him when he was just first picking up his
Yeah.
guitar then. He
Yeah.
must have learned. He must have been a fast learner.
Oh, he is. Yeah.
Yeah. He seems like a very bright kid. So, now how long did it take you to learn?
I'm still learning.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah,
mean, we
there's-
don't
it's-
ever stop. But
Yeah.
to get the basics in order to play with a band and do something like with what Gregg's doing, and even with Richie's band and that kind of stuff, how long is it?
God, I don't know. It took a few years just to get comfortable playing, and then you gotta be able to keep time with with
Yeah,
somebody.
that's
So
important.
you gotta have
That could be the
some
worst
kind of
thing.
But it was it was a few years.
Quite a challenge, huh?
Thinking back to the bands that I was in high school, it's like even I started playing, I don't know, 13, and
Right.
even when I was 18 playing, I still wasn't it still wasn't
Yeah,
that good.
we've had a couple of bands that way, and every time we thought we were ready and we were good enough, somebody would quit. So that's high school though, because everybody's so fickle. And then talking about keeping up with the rhythm, how do you do with the drums, keeping up with these guys?
Keeping up with these guys?
Yeah.
Well, I'm lucky enough to be able to set the pace most of the time.
That's
And
true,
they're
right?
such
Drummer,
fine
you-
musicians that they just lock right in,
Yeah.
and it's never an issue, really.
Wow. Now, how long have you been playing drums?
40 plus years, I'd say.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right, that's right. You said
Yeah.
since you were 10?
Since I was 10 years old.
Tom does a
That's-
fantastic job for us on drums. I mean, he
that's
really. I
terrific.
mean, to have a solid drummer is really the backbone of any band.
It really is.
It really has to
really is.
be. It's
Has to
that
set the
motor that
tone
just
and-
drives the train. It really. If you don't have that, it falls to pieces. Tom really
Oh.
holds it together.
Well, that's why I do an acoustic act with my husband right now.
Yeah.
Because, in the process of looking for drummers, it's tough.
It is.
But we want to keep getting out there, and
Yeah.
I'm sure you
Network
could
and-
agree that's the biggest thing to do is keep putting yourself out there
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
as often as possible. And Phil and I, we frequent karaoke spots around, and
Yeah.
just so people can hear what we can do when there is a full track behind us with a full band behind us, as well as what Ken and I do acoustically.
Right. Yeah.
So now, do you do many acoustic shows by yourself?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I do solo stuff. Like I said, I mean, I go out and do the solo thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Ken's telling me we have another video.
We do. He's got a couple more, I think.
Yeah, great. You know what? You guys want to see them?
From the same show.
Sure.
Yeah.
You didn't
let's
get to
check
see
it
them.
out.
You guys didn't get to
This
see
one
them yet,
is
right?
You're the One I Crave, which is a newer one.
You watch for the tall guy with the dark hair all the way over in the corner.
Yeah. Keep telling
And of
Louie he's
course,
got to
like-
get out more when
Yeah,
he does the
right?
solos, especially.
And then, of course, drummer, like I said. That's why I went up. First picture I took was the drummer. Hey, look, I know you get lost in the crowd. And then when you're shorter than the other guys on top of it all, they need to build you a throne.
Well, that's why they put us on the riser sometimes. It helps.
Yes,
Plus, I'm
absolutely.
sitting down, so that doesn't help matters.
Well, no, but you're not going to stand up and, double bass. And,
Not for very long, no.
All right, Ken, would you mind rolling the next one?
Okay, there we go.
Hey, this next one is called You're the One I Crave. So
that was so good. He started going into the next one, but we're gonna save that for last because I think Greg wants to tell a story about that last one.
Well, he might have it on the thing, actually. I'm not sure where it starts. Yeah, the last one is called Magic, and we rolled that out at this show.
Yeah.
I had wrote it a while back, but I had just recently,
that
showed
was the
it.
first time.
Yeah, I showed it to these guys at practices, and we worked it up as a full band. I had been doing it acoustically myself for quite some time. I wrote it about a friend of mine who was battling cancer, and she went through treatments, and she's doing really well now, thankfully.
That's good.
At the time, I kind of wrote it for her as a kind of a get well card, and it just,
Nothing better
again,
to
those
feel you
songs,
than music.
those songs just kind of come to you. So it was just something I wanted to say to her, and it just turned into a song, and I hope to get it out on the next record and make it into a track.
I hope it encourages other people
Absolutely.
that are going through exactly what she went through.
Right.
That prompted you to write the
So,
song.
but
Yeah.
it's a strong tune. I think anybody can find some kind of connection to it with whatever you might be going through. So finding some kind of strength,
Well,
So you find your own meanings to songs, that you like.
The title of Sad Song Says So Much.
Right. Yeah.
It's exactly what it is,
True.
Sad songs. Love
I try not to
songs,
make it a
yeah.
sad song. I try to
No,
make
but
it an
sad
uplifting
songs,
kind
love
of. Yeah.
songs.
Right.
Uplifting.
Yeah.
And I mean, I started in a church choir, and I know the uplifting stuff that you
Absolutely.
get from there.
If you can,
it's catchy.
that's why we're all entertainers to begin with. You want people to feel something, whether to laugh or cry or to really, to connect.
Get in touch with their
And that's
emotions.
what it
Yeah.
is. It's I've always been a singer-songwriter. I'm not in this to show you how many notes I can play per second. I was more of a guy that just wanted to write a song, and the music supports the song and the lyrics.
Right.
Right. Now, I asked these two how long have they been playing. How long have you been playing? I probably.
I started
shows.
I started playing messing around with the guitar in junior high, and I just kind of was in some bands and stuff, and I played in a band called Natural Disaster, which we recorded a lot of stuff in the 90s.
Wow.
And that achieved a lot of airplay and stuff overseas. We sent our stuff overseas, and there's a lot of stuff on that. Andy Reiser and Natural Disaster. And then, many years later, I just started doing my own stuff and hooked up with Richie Scarlett, and he's been a real great mentor to me, and very thankful for that. So
I understand he's in touch with a lot of people around here, and
Richie, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Got a hand in a lot of people's careers.
Oh yeah,
so.
definitely, yeah. He's
Wow.
definitely gave me the push.
It's
So
amazing, and it's so nice to have somebody lend their talent like that. And
Yeah.
I know you're going to be that same kind of guy because you do that for us. I mean, you lend your talent to us for our
sure.
show.
Oh yeah. I'm always willing to help other people.
Was that the first time you guys were at the Chance, or you've played there before, right?
Oh yeah, we've played the Chance quite often actually. Yeah, that's a great venue. They like us there, and we love them, and we get picked to open for certain people. So yeah.
That's great. That's really great. And one of these days, I might be saying, "Hey, Greg, come see my band open
Absolutely.
up."
Right.
You know?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think Ken's ready to roll the song Magic
Right.
now.
Yeah, Ken, if you could roll that. Well, you want to introduce it a little bit?
I think
Is
it
there
just
anything
did.
you wanna
Yeah.
talk about it, or?
Magic. The last time we played at the Chance.
Okay. All right, let's go with Magic.
I've been doing this a lot acoustically, and I recently worked it up with a band. And I wrote it a little while back. It's called Magic, and I wrote it about a friend of mine who was battling cancer at the time. And I think everybody has a connection to somebody, battling cancer at one point or another. Good news is my friend is okay now. She went through a lot of treatments, and she's doing really well. But at the time, I wrote this for as kind of a get well card, if you will. So it's called Magic. was earlier on. I think
Wow, that was really good.
Thank
I
you.
enjoyed watching it the first time live, and
thanks.
even seeing it back, it's just like
Okay.
it's
Yeah, I think that's the first
rock,
time I saw it played back. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so-
Okay.
Great.
All right.
So, we.
Well, we're kind of running out of time, so we just want to thank you guys so much.
Yes, we
Thanks
do.
for having
coming
us.
in
Thank you.
Thank you.
And letting us put the videos on, and I hope I talked to you too, so enough that you don't feel left out. I hate for that to happen.
Right. And, okay, so we'll see all of you next week at the
Next
same
week.
time.
That's right, and don't forget the telethon. The
Yeah.
information's going to be on the end of your screen.
Okay. Good
Thank
night.
you so much.
Thank
Good
you.
night, everybody.
Good night.